Hello, everybody.
Welcome to the Gimp Show.
Welcome to the Gimp Show. Episode 24 is going to be called The Gimp Show. I'm going to title it that right now. Brandon Silvera over there has broken a finger.
And Mike has
on crutches.
sprained an ankle.
So
possibly beyond
that's where
repair.
we're at. Possibly unrepairable. I'm Mike Morazzo. That's Brandon Silvera. This is episode 24, The Gimp Show.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. Hi, buddy.
Hey, I should have gone out and gotten a Gimp mask just for the show.
A Gimp mask?
Yeah, those leather ones with the zipper across the mouth. You just like unzip it, talk, and then when I'm done, I zip it back up.
Apparently, I wouldn't be able to wear one because my face is now so fat. I don't know what the hell's going on. I've been sitting around for like 3 weeks. I got stung by a bee.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of my fears are bees.
Really?
Bees and wasps.
Snakes and spiders. And
Did
clowns.
You say hicks?
No, snakes.
Oh, snakes.
I don't dig snakes. Like, they don't scare me. I won't go running away from one, but I'd be like, that's a snake. I don't want to do anything with it. Spiders, I've gotten to the point now where I don't run away screaming. And clowns, if you approach me in a clown outfit, I'm going to shoot you.
Oh, a clown story.
Oh, yeah, clown! Clown!
But first, yes, spiders. Those 1,000-leg centipedes.
Yeah,
I don't know if you have them out there.
Not really, but yeah, I've seen them.
If you're in the Midwest and you got basements, yeah. Bees, wasps, hornets, all those things.
Did you say hornets?
Not pornets. I like
That's what
hornets.
it sounded like.
I don't like hornets. And sunflowers.
I'm sure they're nice ladies. You don't got to call them whores.
I didn't. You did.
Maybe
I'm afraid of sunflowers. I'm telling the world. Most of my friends know. My family knows. They think it's a joke. It's not funny. Especially the 6-foot ones. They scare the shit out of me.
A ton of sunflowers. So speaking of sunflowers, in Minot, when I would drive up to base, there were these huge sunflower fields on either side of the highway. It was super cool. Unless you're terrified of sunflowers, in which case that would sound like a nightmare.
Well, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I told the guys at the last police department that I was afraid of sunflowers while I was in FTO training. So we go on a call.
That was not smart.
It wasn't smart. We go on a call. We had some paper to do, or I had paper to do.
I'm going to say you're in FTO. You had paper.
Right. So we go back to the station. I'm doing the paper, and my FTO, my buddy Joe, goes off and does whatever. And then it's time to go back on the street. And I don't know at what point I told him I was afraid of sunflowers, but he remembered maybe. So we go to a call.
I
think it was for.
I want to know how that came up in conversation.
I know. Well,
tell me your fears.
Right, sunflowers. We go to a call for like a burglar alarm, and I go to open the MDT to get the address and stuff, and I open it. He had taped a big sunflower to the MDT screen.
Now, what is it about sunflowers that scares you?
Look at them, man.
They look like sunshine.
They're taller than me.
Okay. So is corn. Are you afraid of corn?
No, they don't. Corn doesn't have a head. Sunflowers have that big face.
It's a freaking flower.
I hate it.
Okay.
I don't like it.
Well, hating it is one thing.
I'm afraid.
You're saying you're afraid of it.
I think I've just turned it into a joke over the past 20 years where if we go to a restaurant and there's like a little vase with sunflowers on it, my daughter will grab it and move it towards me.
It in your head or right in your face.
Get that away from me before I shoot it. So, clown story.
All right, let's hear the clown story.
Because you mentioned clowns at some point before, and I told you to remind me about
It was during the
my
9/11 episode. It's not the appropriate time for a clown story.
But how did a clown come up during the 9/11 episode?
I don't know, Mike. How does anything come up in any of these shows? You and I are both functional retards. Weird things happen.
All right. So we're bringing back retard.
I don't care. It's not offensive. I know plenty of people who have mental retardation, and I wouldn't ever call them a retard because they're not.
Of course not. Not to their face.
They suffer from mental retardation. Retards are totally different.
Right. So this one day, I'm pulling out of a hotel onto one of our 6-lane highways, and a car goes flying past me. Similar to the
Are you working?
Same. Yeah, I'm working. I'm on shift. It's afternoons. Same location where I saw Patrick Sharp fly past me when I pulled him over. That's a different story.
Oh, Patty Sharp.
So I get behind this guy. He's flying. I think I got him at like 60 and a 40 or whatever.
Hot.
So we get up to the next major intersection, and he turns right to go eastbound towards the city. And then there's a big expressway right there he can get on. So I had sent a message on our MDTs at the time to the shift.
I got a live one.
I'm going to pull a clown over because I saw it. He was made up as a clown when he went by me. So I said, I'm pulling some clown over eastbound on this street in this 100 block. Now, I've called people clowns my whole life as a police officer. So they just thought I was pulling some guy over. So I curb the car, and I get out, and this guy has to be like 70. And
a 70-year-old dressed as a clown?
Yeah. I come up to the window post, so I always make them, how they have to turn around and look at you?
Yeah.
Because I'm behind the post. And he's
I don't
struggling.
I don't approach from the driver's side.
Oh, you go to the passenger side?
I hang out in the shadows for like what feels like 5 minutes.
Right.
And then when they're really like confused and frustrated, I shine my light,
the light in the passenger
right
side?
in the face.
Yeah. Nice. In the face.
In the face. What's up?
So this guy looks at me, and he's in the whole gear. Costume, face, paint. He's got balloons stuffed in the car. And I said, the reason I'm pulling you over is, you're doing 60 and a 40. And he said, oh, I'm really sorry. I'm going to my granddaughter's birthday party. I'm like, okay. I said, do you have a driver's license and an insurance card? He's like,
no.
Yeah. So he's one of the old guys that back in the day when I got my driver's license, you would get out and meet the police officer. You would actually walk up to the police officer's car. So he's one of those guys that gets out of his car. That's what the age that they're at.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I know, but because of his age, that's what he does. So he's out and he's standing up in front of me. He's got his full costume on. And my buddy Frank decides he's going to roll up behind me and back me up. He pulls up behind us, and I look behind me because I heard a car, and I look at him, and he looks at us, and he just puts his head down. He's laughing his ass off because I actually pulled over a clown. He won't get out of the car. So I said to the guy, do you have your driver's license? He says, yes, sir. He gives it to me. He takes it out of his wallet, and I go, this don't look anything like you. He goes, I swear to God, it's me. I'm like, clown, lighten up. I'm telling a joke. You're in makeup. Obviously, it doesn't look like you. Where are you going again? My granddaughter's birthday party. I'm really late. I'm like, get back in your car and take off. I won't give you a ticket, But just his face when I looked at his license and looked at him, he goes, this doesn't look anything like you. I swear to God, I thought the guy was going to have a heart attack.
Am I going to go to
so
jail?
Serious. I'm so serious. And then literally a week later, another clown goes speeding past me. I type everyone a message. Another clown just went flying past me. They're like, you've pulled over one clown. That's enough.
You don't need to pull anybody else over.
It was one of my favorite stops, especially when my buddy Frank pulled up and I saw his face. That was worth it.
Oh, man.
All right. So how was your week, Brandon? I know, but our listeners and viewers on YouTube don't.
So,
unless they watched our pre-show and our IG live.
Yeah, or have seen my Instagram the last couple of days. Well, I got a boo-boo.
Hey, boo-boo.
Hey, boo-boo, how about a
picnic basket?
Yeah, so...
why is your finger pointed up in the air?
Oh, I'm fancy.
Pinky.
Yeah, pinky's out. So, was it Tuesday night? Our day shift and swing shift went out to the same address many, many different times for the same guy. Part of his deal is that he's got some mental health issues. And the other part is that he's a raging asshole. So he's apparently going through a really bad breakup with his boyfriend and kept going over and harassing him and banging on windows and all kinds of shit. So day shift apparently called out the mental health mobile crisis people to come out and talk to him. And then at some point, his care team got involved and said, no, he doesn't meet the criteria for a hold. So we walked away. Fast forward to swing shift, second watch. He's out there, violates a domestic violence restraining order, and I think actually burglarized the apartment because he doesn't live there. They decide to just walk away from him being in his apartment and put the affidavit on file so that he can be arrested at a later point in time. A couple hours later, we get called. He's escalated. He's now breaking windows. So, thankfully, the ex-boyfriend is no longer in the apartment. He left because, after about 3 or 4 times, it's like, hey, maybe it's not safe to be here right now. So he leaves. We're talking to him on the phone. We hear glass break. We then see a shadowy figure run over to a car and start wailing on the taillight.
Was it like Bigfoot?
Less blurry, but yeah, just as hairy though.
Okay.
This is the weird part.
Yeah.
And you hear the unmistakable sound of plastic breaking. So we go, well, I guess we have to address this. Hey, police, stop. And he runs away. So at this point, what we don't know is that swing shift was in the process of putting that affidavit on file so that there is currently a warrant for his arrest. Because at the time, we didn't really know what we knew he had some form of vandalism, but we didn't know if it was felony or misdemeanor. Most likely misdemeanor. So am I going to really run after a guy and get into a knockdown drag out over a misdemeanor vandalism case? No. So, whatever. Let him go. We start looking at all the damage. We go, oh, no, it is felony vandalism. So, okay, well, we can put another affidavit on file, just add that charge to it, and he'll get arrested at another point in time. So we go talk to victim. He asks us to escort him over to his apartment while he goes and gets some stuff. Sure, no problem. He goes inside. I'm not working with my usual team this night. I got moved to a different part of the city. So me and my partner for the night are walking up to the apartment, and we see the victim go sprinting out. We go, odd. So, all right, well, there's no reason to go in there. You didn't yell at, run away and scream, help! And then we hear glass break. Son of a bitch, he's back. So we go running around the back, and just as he's walking past us, we both instantly see him and recognize him. Hey, stop. He does not stop. Okay. Partner goes to grab him. He pulls away, and the fight is on. So we are wrestling around, tussling. He's kicking, yelling, screaming. I think at one point he tried to bite somebody. So we eventually get him cuffed up. He ended up actually kicking my partner in the chest. I avoided his kick. At some point through all his grabbing and stuff, he actually unvelcroed my outer vest carrier and somehow dropped the hood on my taser.
Wow.
Yeah, if I had known that, he would have sustained much more serious injuries.
And a tasing.
Yeah, probably. He probably would have gotten a tasing too. Just, well, if you want it, here you go. So We get him out to the paramedics and stuff because he is bleeding from the face. And
Where's he bleeding?
From the face.
From the face.
So, a couple minutes go by. Man, my hand hurts. I look down and my finger is starting to swell up. I'm like, oh, okay, I probably just sprained it or jammed it or something like that. Throughout the night, it kind of starts to bruise a little bit. I'm like, okay, that's normal. I've had, sprained fingers before. It's not the end of the world. I'm like, man, I can't really make a fist. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Go home. And now the underside, so before just the top part of my finger was purple or starting to bruise, I got home, the underside was starting to bruise too. Probably not good. But I'm big, tough guy. Tough guy. I don't go to no doctor. I better be dying. So
I got to go to work.
Yeah, got shit to do. So I tape that to my ring finger, go to sleep, wake up, and I wake up. My finger is much larger than it was when I went to sleep. Looked like a freaking little, like one of those little Vienna sausages.
In the Seinfeld
Yeah.
episode when she's breaking the lobster open.
Yeah.
That's you.
And there's about 6 different shades of purple on my little teeny tiny pinky finger.
Little tribute to Prince.
Yeah. And
Purple pain though, this one.
Yeah, this was purple
rain.
pain.
Yeah.
And it was still hurting. Usually like the pain goes away pretty quickly. Even after like you take some Tylenol, you're usually fine. So I went to work because,
That's what men do.
that's what men do. And
Dumb men.
my boss asked me, he goes, hey, how's your finger? Show it to him. He goes, yee. Like, yeah, I think I'm going to go to
That
the doctor.
doesn't look good.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go to the doctor in the morning because I don't think it's supposed to bend this way either. So yeah, that's probably a good idea. Go to the doctor, and the doctor said it broke.
It broke.
It broke. So I have what's called a mallet fracture. So apparently the last bone in my finger cracked, and then the strength of the tendon ripped the bone off.
See, this is where being my age would be an advantage because my tendons are so stretched out and old, it would just dangle
Just
there.
stay there.
It would have stayed there.
Yeah, so like the doctor showed me the x-ray. He's like, yeah, you see this piece over here? Yeah. She goes,
That's not supposed to be.
It's not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be here. So my finger has to be splinted where the tip of the pinky is like pointed up. So like it has to be kind of hyperextended so that piece of bone that's still connected to the tendon will heal and I will have full range of motion in my
Says
finger.
you.
According to the doctor, in approximately 6 to 8 weeks.
And you still have to go to. Now you have to work light duty. Hold
Yes.
on.
Yeah, here we go.
How long is that going to be?
In 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah. So I am off the streets for 6 to 8 weeks while this little bastard heals.
You're going to be a paper bitch.
Paper bitch! Yeah.
What are you going to be doing? What are your duties as a paper
Duty.
bitch when you're not on the street?
So when you're on light duty, so we get referral cases from Child Protective Services or Department of Family and Child Services, however your county words it.
Okay.
So they send us referral cases, and basically you just type those up, and they get sent off to the family violence guys.
It's handwritten notes or something,
No,
or you take
I don't know.
Consolidate. You've never done it.
No, this is legitimately my first on-duty injury.
Okay.
Where I'm going to actually like miss time.
Yeah, well, I have a story about mine.
Yeah, well, this is my story. This is my first one.
Yeah, and that's not bad for the first 3 years, Brandon.
Yeah, no, I know. And I mean,
injury.
This is not my first tussle. I've been incredibly fortunate.
Right, as many fights have you been in, you've gotten lucky.
Yeah. Well, as many critical incidents I've been in.
I show up with big boxing gloves on right up.
That's going to be what happens now. I'm just going to keep like a pair of like 8-ounce UFC gloves in my car.
Yeah. You
And
get
I'm just
out
gonna
with
start
those
throwing
things.
them on.
First
I'm
of
like,
all,
let's go, dude.
people just look at you and go, I'm done.
I don't think I want to
If
fight
you're
that.
showing up to a call like that, we don't need to go any further.
don't-
Where do you want me to put my hands? Behind my back?
Back here? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this dude was like an asshole the entire time, too. Like, even after he was in the hospital, like, even nurses were, because he tried to run away once he got medically cleared to go to jail. So, like, we stand
Of
him
course.
up.
Why wasn't he handcuffed to the
Oh,
bed?
he was, but it was time to go to jail.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
Time to take the cuffs off the bed.
yeah. And he got handcuffed behind his back. We stood him up. All right, you're going to walk to that car right there. And, like, he dropped his center of gravity and, like, leaned forward. And it was one of those times where I looked at my partner. I could see that he was confused. I was confused. So I figured, well, if you don't know, ask. Hey, buddy, what you doing? I'm getting out of here. I'm not going to jail.
You're going to be readmitted to the hospital in 2 seconds.
You're doing a poor job of it.
Yeah.
So.
Was it a felony? So you were saying.
Oh, yeah. So.
Vandalism, that doesn't work criminal damage here. It's called criminal damage in Illinois. So that was you got felony
the technical
charges
term
for the criminal
is
damage?
the technical term is malicious mischief.
Oh, that's like a.
It sounds so innocent, right?
Well, malicious mischief by us is lower than a Class A misdemeanor, something that you don't even.
Yeah, like typically we wouldn't arrest anybody for vandalism. I've only arrested one other person for vandalism, and it was because he almost smoked a baby when he threw a rock through a window.
Well, that's criminal damage.
Yeah, well, to us it's called vandalism.
Okay.
Okay. You're arguing
Vandalize.
Semantics.
And then you said the burglary. Now.
So he entered that dwelling with the intention.
What was his intent to commit a felony?
Theft,
what was the felony? A theft.
A theft or any felony crime, which he created a ton of damage apparently, which rose it to that level. Again, would have been nice to know. Thank you.
Don't be silly. Shift. No, we don't need any pass on.
Nah.
You should see pass on in our department. You have to read the reports if you want to have any idea what's going on.
Yeah, that's typically the way it goes. It was actually kind of fortunate because one of the swing shifters came out there.
I know this guy.
Yeah, he was like, I remember this asshole. So he came out there and goes, yeah, they're putting an F on file. I just called him and said, hey, don't you want to maybe give him a heads up? So then to which I responded, hey, don't you want to give us a heads up?
Yeah, hello.
You have knowledge, jackass. You could easily have let us know. But, why do extra work? So, yeah, it was a fight the whole way down there. He got to wear, so I have a very special helmet. It's,
Did your parents give it to you when you were a kid so you wouldn't bump your head?
Yeah. No, I got it from actually one of the hospital nurses. Some dude was banging his head on the inside of my car. He goes, hey, you want a helmet for him? Yes.
And then I'm going to keep it.
Yes. So, I've been waiting for a chance to use that helmet again, and I finally got it. And this guy
You put it on yourself or that guy?
I put it on that guy. I wore my Kevlar helmet. Safety.
Okay.
So he got to wear that while he was in our little burrito wrap restraint, and
nice.
Got brought down to jail that way, looking like a damn fool.
Good on him.
Yeah. So he ended up with more than just that vandalism charge.
It's a bad breakup.
Yep. Bad breakup caper.
Bad breakup.
Yeah. So now he's gotten 2 felony battery on an officer's. 1 with technically, so the definition of great bodily injury, right?
Yeah. Not in Cook County, but
no.
I mean statewide it is. It's on our state
legal
books.
Definition of it is like a
Cook County
fracture.
Would laugh at me. Yeah.
So
yeah. We might get it for a broken bone, but
I think you have to actually get shot out there.
Yeah. Minnesota is no longer going to be prosecuting officers that get spit on as felonies if it only lands on their uniform and boots, not on their hands or face.
It's okay.
Even though it's a felony to spit on a police officer.
Our county's not going to prosecute standalone resisting charges anymore. So if we're investigating a crime and somebody decides to fight with us and we arrest him and that's the only crime is the resisting, obstructing, delaying a peace officer, not going to get filed. That's cool. It's not going to result in somebody getting hurt.
Nah.
It'll be fine.
So, after you broke your finger, was that the end of the last day of your shift?
Yeah, so I spent my Saturday in the hospital. Well, not in the hospital. I went to my doctor, and then bounced around the Kaiser campus, going from my doctor to orthopedics to the casting area. Yeah.
During the day, or were they nice?
Oh, during the
evening appointments.
During the day.
After your
the
shift.
second I got off.
Well,
work.
wait, because Thursday was your last night at work.
So Wednesday into Thursday is my last day. So Thursday is technically my off day.
Oh, that's right. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm sorry.
So
it was Thursday or
it was Thursday morning.
That?
It was Thursday morning. So I worked Wednesday night, and I nailed down a perfect game, Mike.
Oh, while you were playing on your phone?
No, 0 calls for service.
Oh,
Not even attached to anything. Not even like attached and cleared off. Nothing. Call sign was not raised once.
That's awesome. We used to try and go all 6 days when we did 6s and 2s.
See,
we tried to go 6 days in a row without getting a call.
So you could pull that off. Here,
no,
the perfect game is rare. This is the second one of my career.
Okay.
So I want to thank my teammates who had my back out there.
Thank Ford.
I want to thank God for putting me in such a wonderful position.
You drive a Chevy.
No, I don't.
Right?
No.
Do you have the Interceptor?
We have
I thought
Fords.
you were in a Caprice.
No.
Okay.
We have Caprices
at some point.
So we have Caprices. We have I don't drive the go-kart.
You have some old Crown Vics.
We got some old Crown Vics that are getting they're getting phased out, and it makes me sad.
Yeah. Okay. And then the rest of the SUV.
Yep.
Ford. Okay.
Fords.
Yeah.
So
that's
it was
good, man. Congratulations on your perfect game.
Yeah. It was about halfway through that I was sitting there in my church parking lot going, I really shouldn't be at work. Like, if I have to grab somebody, like, it's not going to happen.
Well, maybe that's why you were allowed to have a perfect game, because
I would have been useless.
And you shouldn't have been at work.
Yeah, and that was halfway through it. I kind of had that realization of, like, I'm no good to anybody right now. So
right, yeah.
So now I won't be there for 6 to 8 weeks.
Well, you'll be there.
Well, I mean, I'll be there. I'll just be in the building, which, like, it's weird how because I've been on modified duty one other time after my vasectomy. And I was only on it for a week, and it was awful. It was miserable. I like 6 to 8 weeks sounds like torture.
And well, at least you get to stay on your shift.
Yeah, so I still get to stay on my shift, but you're so disconnected because, like, nobody's like, hey, how you doing, buddy? They just, like, look into this. We call it the fishbowl because it's like this little corner office with windows all around it. And, like, people just look in and they stare at you like, what's wrong with you?
Kenny Chesney has a good song, Welcome to the Fishbowl. Yeah. You should listen to it when you're sitting
in a different fishbowl. So it sucks. It's like, I'm not going to say depressing. That's dramatic. But it's a bummer.
It's just we're used to, people don't understand. Our office is our car.
Yeah.
We're out on our own. We do what we want. And that includes traffic and investigation, all that kind of stuff. When you get stuck in an office, you kind of just want to poke your eyeballs out with pencils.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah.
We're not used to being indoors.
Yeah. Well, so. I mean, and then there's the aspect of, you know that your team is going to be operating a person down,
Right.
And you know that, world's going to keep on spinning, but you do feel disconnected. You do feel a sense of, well, most cops feel a sense of responsibility. And I mean, I know you get to a point where, some guys would prefer to be off the street and still getting paid with a relatively minor injury. Well, at the same time, like,
at me.
No, I know that there's 2 guys in there right now that are like, good, ride this out. And I don't like those people.
How many seats are in the fishbowl?
2.
Just 2? Yeah,
there's 2 like actual like nice, decent desks, and then there's like these 2 tables that are shoved in a corner. So I'm going to be sitting in the briefing room. I'm going to go into the briefing room because one of them is a sergeant that I cannot stand.
Oh, one of the 2 that are in the bubble.
Yeah, I don't like him. Okay. So I'm going to be in the briefing room the whole time, or maybe even the report writing room, and just hide from him until he leaves, and then I'll leave.
All right.
So
my week at work.
Yeah,
I'm not at work.
Didn't something happen to you, Mike?
So I was supposed to go to work Monday. Today is Saturday. We recorded a week ago Saturday. So yeah. So last time we recorded, I was supposed to shoot the next day.
Yeah, you were going to do some rifle training.
Yeah, it was great, man. I was telling you during the pre-show. First of all, I bought a new gun. SIG P320 AGX Pro. I've been waiting for it to come in. So my buddy Frank, he's a federal firearms license holder. So I ordered it through him. He texts me. He says, your gun's in. And I was on vacation, as you know, before I was supposed to shoot. And I wasn't. He lives right next to the town over from the PD. So I'm not going to be in your town. He goes, come get it before you shoot. We normally shoot at the police department in his town. That's the range we use when we're doing pistol stuff. I said, well, I'm not shooting by you. We're shooting at a quarry. And this is a good thing. It's 15 minutes from my house.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, because I work 30 miles away. This was it was 12 minutes, if I'm going to be honest. 12 minutes from my house. It's an outdoor quarry, a lot of gravel trucks and stuff.
Yeah, we'd hate to have another housekeeping segment.
Yeah, right. No housekeeping.
Clarifying the travel time, door to door.
Right. So I thought it would be really cool I always pick up a dozen donuts for the guys, and then I got some extra water, and my wife had purchased a pop-up tent that you use for like tailgating and stuff. It's 10 by 10.
Hey, that's like what I found at Goodwill.
Yeah, but it was like $120.
Minus
so
50.
She says, take this and you can have some shade because it's supposed to be really hot out. And I'm like, awesome. So I get there like 30 minutes early. We get down, we go down in the ravine down there, and I pull this thing out. No instructions. I had asked her, are there instructions? She said, you don't need any.
You don't need them.
She still says she never said that. But anyways.
I don't know. I believe Kim.
Okay. I pull it out. It's huge. I start opening it up. You know, it's got accordion arms and stuff.
Is it like it's 10 feet by 10 feet?
It's 10 feet by 10 feet. So I pull out a corner, then I go to the other side and pull it. And I'm fighting with this thing, and then I think it's upside down, which actually it wasn't. I put it right side up. But I didn't know there were little locking hubs on each pole that you push up after it's open. So I flip it upside down because I think that's the way it's supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
I start pushing it down, like forcing it open.
You do?
Then I broke it.
Oh.
I'm like, what the arms broke. It's like cheap metal, like it's made in Taiwan or something. No offense to the Taiwanese.
It probably was.
So
I'm pretty sure that's made out of aluminum, so like it's not
for
sturdy.
Like 20. Maybe I can recycle it and get some money for it because
screw that. You can freaking return it and get a new one.
Maybe. I think she ordered it on Amazon. Maybe.
Amazon takes everything back.
I know. So I break it. I put it back in the really nice carrying case that has wheels on it. I don't know if yours does.
Yeah, mine has wheels. I was wheeling it around Goodwill.
I throw it back in the back of my truck. I'm pissed. Then my buddy Jim shows up. He opens his tailgate. He's like, hey, I bought us a tent. It's a pop-up tailgate tent, 10 by 10. I go, let me see it. He pulls it out. I go, I just broke that same exact tent. Don't let me touch it. He goes, did you do it by yourself? I'm like, yeah. He goes, what, are you an idiot?
Dummy.
There's 4 people to put this thing together. Yeah, we literally had 4 people, 1 person on each post.
You can do it with 2.
Yeah, if you're on opposite ends.
Like 1 is tough. I mean, you can
1's
do
impossible.
It. No, it's
I'm
possible.
telling you,
I've done
can't do it as 1. Okay, Superman.
I am.
So that was the start of the day.
Just kind of set the tone.
It's never a good sign. So it was cool. Now, where we were shooting, like I said, it's in a quarry. So they get concrete, asphalt, all this stuff. And they have, they've built 2 big berms at one far end. They let a city called Hoffman Estates, they let the Hoffman Estates PD shoot there. So they decided that they would let us shoot there, which is very nice of them. And I think it's
fair.
at no charge.
Fair is fair.
Right? So you get a rifle range and you can shoot, 100 yards. no charge and stuff. So get everything going, and we start running drills. And I run through my drill.
I know, I saw your video.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I don't like your shooting platform.
No, I need to lean forward a little bit more.
Well, I don't like the hand on the mag. I always like.
Oh, I have to. First of all, I broke
like
this arm.
Extended out.
I broke this arm, and I can't.
Okay.
I can't hold it like that. First of all, I used to have a handle on the end of my.
Oh,
rifle.
the foregrip.
Yeah, I took it off.
Okay.
It's much easier for me to go right there.
Okay.
Because of my broken arm.
Okay.
So.
I kind of had the same thing where, like, holding it underneath, like supporting it that way. I can't
turn
do
my
it.
hand like that. No.
So I can. What I do is I C-clamp it.
You do this?
Off to the side.
I'm not a fan.
Or I'll use the foregrip because I got big hands.
Yeah, I got small hands and a broken arm, so
yeah, that'll hurt.
Yeah. So I shoot the course and I do well, and it was after we did rifle, transition to pistol, all that kind of stuff. And I walked it fine. Now I'm walking over chunks of asphalt, rock, dirt, and apparently they drive fucking trucks through there because there's ruts in there. I'm walking back to the group.
Well, it is a quarry.
Yeah. Walking back to the group, and I'm like pulling out my mag. So I'm looking down at my rifle, but not at my footing. And I stepped in this fucking rut. And it was like the middle of my foot.
Hit it perfect.
Yeah, like that. And it snapped down to the left, all the way down into the rut. I mean, it went down. And then I went down. And I'm lucky I didn't jam my rifle into the ground. And my buddy Dave, who I just got done hiking with, he was there. He's like, holy shit, are you all right? I'm like, no. I heard it pop 3 times. Pop, pop, pop.
No,
not good.
This is bad.
They come over to carry me back. I'm trying to walk on it. I can't walk. Get back to the tent. I did have a pole, a folding chair I brought. So I sit down in the chair, and my boss is like, you all right? And I'm like, I don't think so, Jim. This is not a good one. And he's like, well, let's see what happens. I said, I'm not taking my boot off.
Yeah, because you never get it back on.
I've learned. So he goes, just sit and rest for a little while. So we did that. And then, got lunch. And then I couldn't put any weight on it. So I'm like, and it's Sunday, right? And we're still, 25 miles from RPD. And we have we're contracted to go to this urgent care place that's in our town.
Yeah.
So my boss is on the phone. Oh, they're closed.
Crap.
Like, okay. Because it's Sunday.
Yeah.
He goes, you need to go to this hospital. And he tells me to go to a hospital that's in Melrose Park. Melrose Park is about 35 miles away from me. I go, what are you, an idiot? Why would I drive all the way to Melrose Park when I have a hospital 10 minutes away from here, right by my house?
Because they don't do workers' comp, bro.
He goes, oh, I guess that's right. If you're going to go to a hospital, you might as well go to one that's close because it's not going to be workman's comp anyways, but I have to get the work done, I have to make sure it's not broken.
Yeah.
So he goes, go to your hospital. It's fine. So I left right after lunch, get to the hospital, and all that bullshit. They take x-rays. It's not broken. It's the size of a baseball.
Yeah.
Anyways,
one of the pictures you sent out, it didn't look that bad. I'm like, it doesn't look that swollen. Then you sent me a different angle. I went, dude!
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What is that?
I showed the ankle, and I was like, oh, my God. So, now I'm off, and I'm on crutches. They've told me I shouldn't be putting much weight on it yet. So it's funny because I went to see the company doctor then on that Monday. This place, I swear, I posted when I got there. I posted in my stories. I hobbled in there with my crutches. First of all, I'm leaving the hospital the day before with the crutches, and the nurse goes, "Do you need me to show you how to use those?" I go, "I got 3 pairs in my attic." I fucked up my ankles more than anybody I know since I've been playing sports: football, baseball, basketball. I've messed up my ankles in each sport. I'm leaving the hospital. I'm flying down out of the emergency room, and this old lady nurse, she looks at me. She goes, "You look like you have too much experience on those things." I go, "Oh yeah, I can do wonders with these." And then the nurse who brought him to me, he was near the registration as I was walking out, and I was zooming past him. He goes, "Really?" I go, see ya. He goes, you're going way too fast on those. So I go to the company doctor on Monday. I check in, and it's filled with a lot of people getting, urine drops and stuff for their work, because this is a contracted place where employees get sent.
Yeah.
So I went back to my truck, and I made a comment that I don't want to sit in a bunch of room with people have warrants.
Yeah.
So I said to the lady, can I go sit outside and you'll call me when my appointment's ready? 2 hours.
Jeez.
To get in to see the doctor. So whatever. I'm off for. I go back to see her Tuesday. So I finish with that, and I go to the station. I'm on my way to the station. My deputy chief calls me. He's like, hey, where are you at? I'm like, I'm pulling up into the station. He's like, okay, I put some paperwork in your mailbox that you have to fill out. I'm like, all right. So I come in, fill out my paperwork, how everything happened, all that bullshit. I hobble into the DC's office to give him the paperwork, and the chief comes walking in the hallway, and he stops, and he's looking into the office, and I'm on crutches, and he's just looking at me like, he's got his hands on his hips, and he's like, he's just looking at me. And I go, if you keep looking at me like that, I'm going to shove this crutch up your ass. Because like you, 22 years, this is my only second time I've been injured.
Yeah.
On the job and missed work. The last one was I jumped out of the back of an ambulance into a pothole. I was on a call, an ambulance call, on a big-ass highway. I was jumping out, and I didn't know that they had a pothole they didn't fill, and I went right in it, and I got right back in the they had to bring another ambulance, and they had to take me to the hospital. So I told the chief I was going to shove my crutch up his ass, and then he laughed, and I said, I don't like this as much as you don't like this. Yeah, because luckily he's a good friend of mine, but when it happened, my sergeant, or lieutenant now, he had to send a message to the DC and the chief.
Yeah, they got to send messages all the way up.
Right. So he sends that, and then he calls me. He says, how you doing? He's checking in on me, my lieutenant. And I told him, and he goes, okay, just so you know, I sent a text to so-and-so and so-and-so, and the first thing out of their mouth was, oh, it's fucking great. Not how is he?
Man, they really care about you.
Yeah. I'm like, really? So then later, like literally hours later, I get a text from my DC. Hey, Mikey, heard about your ankle. Hope you're okay.
Doing okay, buddy?
I'm like, all right, whatever. So now I had physical therapy twice. I'm not walking without the assistance of a crutch. Now I'm down to one. And I go back Tuesday to see the doctor and physical therapy, and I'm supposed to work Wednesday, Thursday, but there's no way I'm going to be able to work Wednesday,
I don't think you're going to be working, buddy.
No, so I'm looking at the 4th, hopefully October 4th. Hopefully I'll be back, but I'm not going to go back unless I can jump and run and, all that stuff, because it's like you. Our job is boring until it's not. So you're
getting off work until there's an active shooter.
Right. And then you got to chase somebody.
Like,
so I'm going to make sure I'm 100% before I go back. So I don't have work stories other than the old ones that I'll talk about next time I'm at work.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like an eventful week for us. Like, it was pretty mundane. And then
our guys, they've been working a lot. Our guys are getting forced to work 18s and stuff. Now our shift's short. All the other shifts are short. So
yeah, it's a domino effect, and like we're all aware of what one guy down equals.
Right.
It equals 5 extra hours for 2 other people.
By the time I go back, I will have been off. I last worked September 2nd.
Wow. Good for you.
You know what? I never want to go back.
I'm just going to ride this out till like May.
I'm up during the day.
Isn't it amazing how much better you feel when you're like in a normal human schedule?
Cycle?
Yeah.
I can't begin to tell you. Well, but people that are listening that don't do our job or work shift work, because there are, factory workers and stuff and nurses and doctors that have to do that. But
7-Eleven
I've seen the sun every day for 28 days. And it's amazing.
Just that week I was off on bereavement. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yesterday, or the day before. Now, here's what happens. So I get hurt Sunday. My wife left Friday to go to, the Thursday before that to go to Texas. She had to work in Houston all week this week, Monday through Friday. So she went to Dallas first to see some friends Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Flew out Monday morning, was in Houston all week. So I get hurt on Sunday. And then my dog had a growth right here on his chest. So my daughter had to take him in to have surgery. So now I'm home and can't walk. My dog had surgery. He can't walk around. My poor daughter is carrying the dog up and down the stairs.
Aww.
Waiting on me, getting me stuff, asking if making me dinner, making me lunches, And I said to my wife, boy, you sure picked a good week to get the hell out of town.
Yeah, she timed that perfect.
She's like, I did. And she said she felt bad for not being here. And I'm like, okay, sure you did.
Yeah.
Sure you do. But she does. So, yeah, it's been a really crazy week here in the house. But I'm looking forward to watching football tomorrow all day.
Yes.
And then I just checked the schedule because, remember, I said I thought the Cowboys were on tomorrow night.
Yeah,
they're not. They're on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to watch. I'll watch the Bears tomorrow, and then I'll watch whatever I'll watch that Packer-Niner game.
That's
and
gonna
root
be
for
fun.
the Pack because my family's from Green Bay.
Well,
and I hate the Niners because I'm a Cowboy fan.
right there. That's about as good as this one's gonna get.
Yeah.
So here's a better one for you.
That's a good one. But
Yeah, it was a good
my
one.
daughter and I were just watching the movie It, the good one, the recent one, which you can't watch it because there's a clown in it.
Hard pass.
But there's a scene in there where the kids are having a rock fight in the creek, and one of the kids has a mullet. So he's a bad kid, Henry Bowers. So they end up rock fight. He's on the ground, and then the kid from across the creek goes, "Why don't you go blow your dad, you mullet wearing fucker?" And he gives him this like this with the thumbs out.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie.
Oh, that's funny.
Speaking of movies, I learned something. So.
What did you learn?
So, my daughter came in while I was watching The Sopranos because HBO is doing a Sopranothon. They're not calling it Sopranothon, but they're calling it a Soprano Marathon. Right. I just coined that phrase. And anyways, because they're leading up to the Many Saints of Newark.
Oh, that's right.
October 1st. So excited. So, my daughter, I'm way ahead. I'm in season 6 now, and I'm keeping up with the podcast, but I wanted to eat lunch and just put something on that I'd seen before. So I had it on, and my daughter sits down. She's never seen The Sopranos. And then Michael Imperioli, who plays Christopher, they were seeing him on it. Christopher, and I asked my daughter, I'm like, do you recognize him? Because my daughter has watched all of Law and Order and SVU.
No, Chrissy.
And he was on Law and Order for a while. He was one of the main police officers.
I was going to say, was he one of the detectives? Or
yeah, he was with
after
Jeremy
a while,
Sisto.
I just couldn't keep up with it.
Oh, I love that Law and Order.
Oh, yeah, same here. I'll watch the reruns with Sam Waterston all day long.
Oh, he reminds me of my grandpa.
I am getting back into Law and Order now that they brought back Elliot
Organized
Stabler
Crime.
to Organized Crime.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I watched the first season, and now I'm going to get probably back into SVU because you know that those are going to intertwine all the time.
Oh, no. Thursday night they did a crossover, I think.
Yeah.
The first night back.
Yeah, I got to watch that.
She says I don't recognize him. Yeah, there you go. She said I don't recognize him. I said, oh, he was in, Goodfellas. She's like, I've never seen Goodfellas. I'm like, what? Exactly. Same look. I go, you what? No.
Mike,
and I said,
you have failed.
Wait, it gets
worse. As a father.
It gets worse. 2 more.
Oh, God.
I said, next thing I know, you're going to tell me that you've never seen A Bronx Tale. Nope. I'm like, what? So.
I think that one's a little bit more forgivable.
No.
It's a little bit more forgivable than not seeing Goodfellas. If I got to rate which one, you have to see, just to exist in this country.
Right?
Yes, I know. They go side by side, but I'm also not going to get pissed if nobody's seen Casino.
I asked her, I said, have you seen Casino?
If you haven't seen the first two, you sure as shit haven't seen Casino.
No, right. So then the last one, so I was like, okay, you now have a homework assignment.
Has she seen Super Troopers?
I don't know.
We need to know. Send a text.
All right. Well, I'm not going to text her now. It's late. So one other
Mike,
thing.
I don't think you understand. We need to know.
Okay, hold on. Let me text her.
This is important.
Brandon wants to know if you've seen Super Troopers.
Uh,
So,
if not, I'm getting on a plane. You're going to go
okay,
get
I got one
popcorn.
more for you. Yeah.
And we're going to have a good old time.
Yeah. So, yesterday, her mom came home. And I don't know where they went to get food or how it ended up happening, but they went to a drive-thru. Oh. Kim on her way home asked Morgan if she wanted something to eat. And me too, but I had just made a grilled cheese sandwich. So that she went to Taco Bell. And they get the food, and Morgan sits down, and they open the bag, and the nachos are missing. And I said, never go through the drive-thru. And Kim knew immediately what I was referring to, because it's Lethal Weapon. And Leo, and Morgan goes, I don't get it. And I'm like, hold on, God damn it.
I can understand her not getting the line.
She's never seen
that.
the movie.
That again, Mike, that's your kid. You're responsible for it.
I had to bring up the drive-thru scene with Joe Pesci on my phone and show it to her right there. And
whatever.
She just answered me, of course I have, LOL. She has seen Super
Okay,
Troopers.
thank God. At least there's that. No,
So,
I asked because I had a kid I supervised that actually just listed me as a reference so he can get a top secret clearance. When he came out to the actual, job,
yeah,
we'd start talking and stuff about, one of the favorite things we'd all talk about was movies. Like, hey, you seen this movie? You seen that movie? Because, everyone's so much younger than me. I was like, what have you seen? Like, I quoted Super Troopers, so I forget the context that it came up. And he just looked at me like, what? From the movie, from Super Troopers. I've never seen it. You've never seen... You're a cop and you've never seen Super Troopers? Go get out of my office. Get out. So go find so-and-so who's got a portable DVD player.
Right. Homework assignment.
Go watch it right now. I don't care. You do it on duty. Go.
Do it right meow.
It's that important. Right meow now.
Right meow now. Well, one last thing while we're talking about days and my daughter. Yesterday, I had to go pick up my glasses. I got not these. I got my glasses back, the ones I had sent out. And I didn't want to be hobbling into the store. So I asked Morgan if she'd ride with me. And it was, dude, it's like 69 degrees out, not a cloud in the sky.
Beautiful.
And I'm driving in my truck during the day with the windows down with my daughter. She goes in, grabs my glasses, and I'm like, hey, want to get some barbecue? There's an unbelievable barbecue place like 10 minutes from my house. But I said, but you have to go in because I can't go in. So we went to get barbecue. Had pulled pork, jalapeno coleslaw, cornbread. Oh my God. It was a perfect day, man. With my daughter, having some barbecue, no clouds. And now I'm going to miss all that going back to work.
Yeah, no.
I'm really just soaking it in because, my daughter's 25.
Yeah.
My son's 27 or 26. It's 27. I don't even fucking know. All I know is they're going to be moving out at some point, not too far from here now. And the last 4 years being on nights, I don't see them a lot. So I don't want to go back to work.
No, I hear you. That's kind of the thing with the kids being homeschooled now. For me, it's nice. I see them when I get home. I see them when I get up. And I get to spend my days off with them. But that Thursday when I get home, dude, I'm a zombie.
Right.
Friday, I'm functional, but I'm still in a fog. And then Saturday, well, shit, now I got to stay up all night to get back on a midnight.
Right. Time to get back in your shift.
And people who have never worked nights will never understand how crappy you feel 24/7.
They don't get it.
It's nonstop. You just feel like crap.
I like when they go, oh, you work nights.
That must be nice.
Yeah, and I'm like, you out of your fucking mind?
No, it's miserable.
What nights, what it does to your body.
Yeah, I like the work. I like, the mentality of people who do, in our career field, who work midnights. Like it's a kind of a point of pride that you're a midnighter. Because I do think that we do way more with way less. Because day shift, you can call up a detective and say, "Hey, I have this question regarding this case." Midnight, you're like, I better figure this shit out.
Yeah, there's so many disadvantages to working at night, but it is what it is. So
yeah, that's why my wife and I were talking, with the possibility of me becoming an FTO, having to go to a different district, possibly a different shift. Which shift would I go to? And
right.
If I have the option, I'm gonna probably leave midnights. Either way, at the end of this shift, FTO or no FTO, I gotta at least take a year away from it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like crap.
Right. No.
But I'm even considering going day shift, which to me is like, if you had told me that I was considering day shift like a year and a half ago, I'd have thrown it in my mouth.
I love day shift.
On
ours it's
too many people.
7 a.m. The traffic sucks. And by us, I mean, you're a big city, but we've got Chicago right next door.
Oh yeah.
Our streets are packed, and we got the airport.
Yeah.
So our rush hour is insane. Morning, you get both rush hours when you're on day shift.
Yeah.
You get morning and evening rush hour.
I think the only way I would do day shift is if I go FTO, because I know I'll be stuck doing report writing with the recruit afterwards, or doing a DOR, and then, by the time you're done with that, usually the evening commute is kind of subsided a little bit.
Yeah. What would your day shift hours be?
They would be 6:30 to 4:30. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you're getting off right at rush hour.
Yeah, it's like unless you get off right on time,
yeah,
you're sitting in it. And I did it because my primary FTO was a day shift one, so I did like my first phase and my final plainclothes phase on day shift, and because I had been through an FTO program before, I usually left on time.
Right.
And even then, I just lived on the south end of the city, and it still would take me, normally what's supposed to be like a 10-15 minute drive, it would take me at least 30-45 minutes. And now I live an hour outside of the city.
Right. I got friends that live in the city, and it takes them an hour and 10 to get home or to get to work. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, that's how I was talking to a guy today, because our kids do the martial arts together, and he's a day shift FTO, and he was telling me, he was in the morning, hour 10, maybe. Just but in the evening, it's hour 20, hour 30, pretty regularly, unless you are there doing overtime stuff.
That's why at least our shift, when I was on 8 hours, our day shift was 7 to 3, which was awesome because you get home. And now we're at 7 to 7, so I miss rush hour.
Yeah.
So I'm coming in towards the city at the end of rush hour where people are going towards me.
Yeah.
So I'm always going in the opposite direction.
Yes.
So that's
same here. I sit there, I look at it, I'm like, that looks awful. I do not want to sit in that.
Awful. So I have just a few news stories that I just wanted to touch on, if that's okay. You don't mind that?
And here's Mike with the news.
Back to you, fuckers. It's like, you know what that's from?
Ron, I have to fire you. Oh, no, you're talking about Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty, yeah. All right, so
any news movie, I think of Anchorman.
I know.
But when I saw that, San Diego.
He did no idea what he had just
Good
said.
show, everybody.
Good show.
Ron, I have to fire you. I have to fire you.
You. Ping pong pow. One of the best movies ever. So the first story comes from Law Enforcement Today. Gun-controlled Chicago. Suspect out on bail for murder, caught with a gun a second time while out on bond.
What?
What? A 38-year-old man who was out on bond for a murder charge. How does that happen, first of all?
Yeah, I was going to say, first of all.
What the fuck?
The
Was
inmates
arrested this
are running
past
the
June
prison.
for allegedly being in possession of a firearm. Allegedly. He had a firearm.
It was shoved in his
Surprisingly,
asshole.
the suspect was released on bond again for the gun charge. If you're not watching us on YouTube, that's a mistake, but Brandon just pretty much buried his head into the microphone. He's in front of him.
Hey, Mike.
Yes, Brandon.
Do you guys elect judges or?
Yes, they are elected.
Huh. So all of you in that particular area, you did this to yourself. Just
I don't vote. I don't live in Cook County.
Just in my area, I didn't say you specifically, Mike. It's the people in that area. You're doing this to yourself.
Not me, because I don't vote in Cook County.
Yeah, I know, Mike. I said not you specifically.
Yeah.
All
the
not me.
In Cook
No,
County. Yeah.
I didn't do it.
So here's the incident in which he was charged for murder. On December 26th of 2017.
The day after Christmas. Son of a bitch.
He was arrested for the murder of 28-year-old Tommy Jones.
Oh, Tommy J. TJ.
And for the non-fatal shooting of a 26-year-old woman back in October that year.
So for murder and attempted murder. Cool.
Yeah. So here's what he did. Allegedly, walked up to the victims and opened fire, shooting Jones in the head and back multiple times, and shooting the woman in her back, which she survived and later recovered from the shooting.
Well, good for her. I'm sure there won't be any emotional trauma.
Right. 2 days after being arrested and charged with first-degree murder and aggravated battery by discharge of a firearm in the case, a judge ordered Davidson to be held without bail. However,
to say he's sorry.
In August of 2020, a judge reduced Davidson's bail to $300,000 / 10%, and Davidson was later released after posting $30,000 deposit bond. And then on June 1st, he was pulled over in a traffic stop.
When was he released on bond?
That would be August 2020.
August. And then he was pulled over
June 1st of 2021. Still, his case wasn't disposed yet.
Okay. So he didn't get caught for a while.
Pulled over, open alcohol, and a firearm.
Because those two things go well together. Yeah,
that's one story. Thought that was interesting. That's what's going on in our area, just so you know.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to say that it's different here, but it's not. Because we don't even make them post bond. We're just like, nah, promise you come back? Okay, you can go.
Right. I did have this story about Minneapolis or Minnesota not prosecuting offenders for spitting on cops unless it hits their hands or face. That's a felony, but they're going to be refusing to prosecute any of it unless it hits hands or face. And you had mentioned in our pre-show, which crime aren't you prosecuting anymore?
Stand alone, resisting, obstructing, delaying an officer. So essentially, we can be investigating a crime. Somebody who is legally detained, can fight us, and if it's showed that they're not they're innocent of whatever crime we were investigating, but we're still going to charge them with the resisting or obstructing, delaying charge. It's not getting prosecuted anymore. There has to be some other crime associated for the district attorney to take that case. So
they must be friends with the Cook County state's attorneys.
Yeah, they're all dumb. They're all stupid. I know they have some pretty high level degrees and are legal experts.
Okay.
But they're stupid. They're just dumb. That's the only explanation I can fathom.
It's the political pressure that's put on them, in my opinion.
See, in my opinion, it's wanting. So, at the associate jail, holy shit, there is like a mariachi band across the street. That's awesome. I can hear it through my headphones.
No, I can't. Unfortunately,
really, you're not picking up.
It.
No, it's really cool.
Wait. Be quiet.
Yep.
Nope, can't hear.
Really? Nothing? Cool. How about, let's see here. I'm going to be that guy. Yeah. My wife just sent me a text. She goes, good Lord, there's a fiesta going on behind our house.
That's awesome.
Um,
Go over and get some tacos.
I am. If they have tacos or something, like, I'm down. Like, if you want to have a party, that's fine. Just invite me and I won't be a dick.
Right.
I'll drink tequila with anybody. Anyways, what the hell was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I think at the, like, ADA level, the, like, associate district attorneys that actually go to court,
Yeah.
they're judged by their conviction rate. So I understand them not wanting to take cases that aren't, like, winners. So I understand it. When your job's on the line, you do what you got to do. But the actual, like, district attorney level, the actual political level, I think it's a cowardly attempt by all of them to further their own political career.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
And not so much external pressure. Like, I know that the district attorney in the county I work in would just cream his pants if he could charge a cop with a serious violent felony for a righteous use of force.
So would Kim Fox of Cook County. So
I'm trying to not be that guy, but...
No, be that guy, because it's true.
I don't want to be the guy that gets charged, Mike.
No, you don't want to be that guy. I thought you don't want to be the guy that's blaming them for being that way.
Oh, no, I'll blame them.
Yeah.
I and it's not blame. It's called accountability. Correct. And it's something that, top to bottom, we're lacking in this country. Nobody is held accountable.
Yeah.
Like our own military leaders that aren't being held accountable for launching a drone strike that killed 10 innocent people, including 7 children.
Yeah.
And then the president comes out and says, we got an ISIS-K target. No, 0 target was hit.
Well, I have one other story that's very serious.
Okay, let's go serious. Super serial.
Florida deputy critical after being shot in the face after a traffic stop.
Jesus.
Suspect sought. So the deputy is identified as Joshua Moyers, 29 years old, Nassau County, Florida. 29-year-old deputy is in critical condition after suffering a bullet wound to his face and his back. So he did a traffic stop at 2:30 in the morning on a Chrysler minivan right near railroad tracks. And this is important. The railroad tracks come into play. The driver, next to a female passenger, did not have a license and gave the deputy a false name. Moyers went back to his patrol vehicle, ran the name. It didn't match. He went back to the minivan, asked the driver whether he had any weapons and to get out of the vehicle. At about the same time, a train was approaching, and the railroad crossing arms were flashing and ringing. The shooting occurred seconds later, the sheriff said. The driver's arm came out of the vehicle with a handgun and shot the deputy. As the deputy fell down, the driver reached out and shot him in the back. And just prior to the arms of the railroad crossing coming down, he sped off. Just before the guards came down, he got through. And the entire incident was caught on the deputy's body cam. The second deputy showed up, and then they ended up trying to find this guy. They found the van. They found the female passenger. She was hiding in a barn, but she wanted no part of. She didn't have anything to do with it. She wanted no part of it, so she escaped from this guy. But this guy's still on the run. His name is Patrick Rene McDowell.
Descriptors?
Of Jacksonville.
Do we have descriptors?
Yeah, well, he's a male white. I'll show a picture of him up on the YouTube. The interesting thing about this guy, McDowell, is he's a Marine. So they found a rifle abandoned in the area, and they also found he shot a canine.
Jeez.
He's expected to survive, but they did find a rifle where the canine was shot. The Florida Department of Corrections states that McDowell was sentenced on May 24th to 1 year and 6 months of probation on a forgery charge and was under drug offender probation.
Probably
also has a previous arrest on charges of giving a false name to law enforcement, aggravated possession of stolen firearms, and like I said, he has military training. He was in the Marine Corps from 2005 to 2009, and he's an active participator in shooting competitions.
All right.
So,
well,
if anybody out there,
they're hunting a professional.
He is described as a 6 foot 1 inch, 180 pound male white with balding brown hair, blue eyes, and wide holes in his ears. So he must have those fucking
so he's got like the gauges.
Anyone with information is asked to contact the sheriff's office at 904-548-4000 or call 911. So I just wanted to get that out there. If there's anyone in Florida listening, my brother is. If you come across this person,
if you see him, don't approach him, just call.
Yes. So.
And keep a lone eye on this douche canoe.
Yes. So this week, in our fallen officer segment, we have 11 officers. And the breakdown this week, 11 more, Brandon. And 2 canines. So I'm going to bring up the list. I'm just checking to see if one was added before, at the end of where I left off. What's today's date? Today, when we're recording, is the 25th.
Luke Gross is the last one I have.
Yes. Okay. And he was the last one on my list. So
yeah,
we'll go over this now.
And then Kyra and Tito.
First up, police officer Michelle Gattay of the Georgetown Police Department in Texas. Her end of watch was Thursday, September 16th, from COVID-19. She was an Air Force veteran, Brandon. She joined the Georgetown Police Department as an intern before attending the academy. She's survived by her mother, sister, 2 brothers, 6 nieces and nephews. She's 44 years old, and she did 9 months on the job and was a military veteran. Air Force. Right up your alley there, buddy. Lieutenant Ernest Oldham of the Plano Police Department in Texas, end of watch September 16th, 2021, cause COVID-19. He had served the Plano Police Department for 34 years, survived by his wife and twin children. He's 57 years old. Captain David Edwin McAlpine of the New Hanover County Sheriff's Office in North Carolina. End of watch September 17th. Cause was COVID-19. He had served with the New Hanover County Sheriff's Office for 30 years. He is survived by his wife, son, 2 daughters, 2 granddaughters, and his mother. He was 53 years old. Police Officer Carl Proper, Kings Mountain Police Department in North Carolina. End of watch Friday, September 17th, 2021, COVID-19. Officer Proper had served with the Kings Mountain Police Department for 3 years. He had served in law enforcement for 16 years. Officer Proper is survived by his wife and 3 children, 39 years old. Lieutenant John Stewart of the Lake City Police Department in South Carolina. End of watch Friday, September 17th, 2021. He was killed in a vehicle pursuit. The subject involved in the initial pursuit with Lake City police officers then carjacked another vehicle. He was taken into custody following the other pursuit involving members of the Florence County Sheriff's Office. Lieutenant Stewart was a United States Marine veteran. He had served with the Lake City Police Department for 13 years. He had served in law enforcement altogether for over 21 years. Lieutenant Stewart is survived by his 2 sons and 7 siblings. He was 48 years old. Sergeant Richard John Frankie of the Fort Bend Independent School District Police Department in Texas. End of watch September 17th, 2021. COVID-19. Sergeant Frankie had served with the Fort Bend Independent School District Police Department for over 3 years. He had previously served with the Houston Independent School District Police for over 24 years. He is survived by his sister, 50 years old. Trooper Brian Pingree, Florida Highway Patrol. End of watch September 18th from COVID-19. Trooper Pingree had served with the Florida Highway Patrol, Troop F, for 7 years. He is survived by his wife and 2 children, 60 years old. Lieutenant Brandy Stock of the Brooklet Police Department in Georgia. End of watch Sunday, September 19th, 2021, from COVID-19. Lieutenant Stock was a United States Army veteran. She had served with the Brooklet Police Department for 3 years. Lieutenant Stock had served as a law enforcement officer for over 12 years combined. She is survived by her husband. She is 37 years old. Senior Police Officer William Jeffrey of the Houston Police Department. End of watch Monday, September 20th, 2021, from Gunfire. He and other officers had gone to an apartment to serve an arrest warrant as part of a high-level narcotics case. They made contact with a female subject who answered the door. As they spoke to her, the shitbag wanted man emerged and opened fire without warning, striking Officer Jeffrey and another officer. Officers were able to return fire and kill the piece of shit. 30 years and 9 months of service. 54 years young. Police Officer Joseph J. Currer of the Fond du Lac Police Department in Wisconsin. End of watch September 22nd, 2021, from COVID-19. Officer Currer was a United States Army veteran. He had served with the Fond du Lac Police Department for 3 years. He is survived by his wife, 2 children, parents, and a sister, 26 years old. Deputy Sheriff Luke Gross of the Hancock County Sheriff's Office in Maine. Is Maine M-E? That's M-A. What's M-E?
No, MA is Massachusetts, right?
What's M-E?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm an idiot. I think it's Maine. He was struck by a vehicle. Deputy Gross had served with the Hancock County Sheriff's Office for 18 years. He was investigating a crash on Route 3 at about 4 a.m. when he was struck and killed by a vehicle. He is survived by his wife, son, and daughter.
And
they do not list his
age. Maine.
It's Maine. I was right the first time. Never doubt your first guess. And then we have 2 canine officers. Oh, it looks like, yeah, 2.
Yeah, 2.
2 canine officers.
So first...
Canine... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I do canines.
I know, I'm sorry.
Much. First is canine Kyra from the Ford County Sheriff's Office in Kansas. Kyra died a short time after she and her handler were involved in a vehicle pursuit and apprehension that had entered Ford County. Kyra started showing signs of distress immediately after the incident and was taken to a local veterinary clinic where she died. Kyra had served with the Ford County Sheriff's Office for 8 years. Her end of watch is September 6th, 2021. And this one just sucks. Canine Tito of the I'm going to butcher this one. Eufaula Police Department in Oklahoma. His end of watch was September 15th, 2021, and Tito died in his handler's patrol car after the air conditioning malfunctioned. His handler had left him in the patrol car with the air conditioning on in order to set up training scenarios. When he returned to the patrol car to retrieve Tito, he discovered that the air conditioning was blowing hot air into the car. Tito was rushed to a veterinary hospital, but his condition deteriorated, and he had to be humanely euthanized. Something that people I don't think realize, these canine cars, they have in the back windows these air conditioning units that blow cold air into the canine compartment so that the dogs, are not going to overheat, and suffer what this poor guy did. Unfortunately, though, it's man-made, so eventually it's going to break. And I can't imagine what that handler's going through right now.
Oh my God, that's got to be bad. We have a hero of the week who was actually a victim, one of our officers down on our last show. He's this week's hero of the week. Would you like to know how?
Please, tell me more, Mike.
Donated kidney from slain Missouri officer goes to another cop.
How about
Although
that?
the two officers never met, they will forever be connected. Springfield, Missouri. Even after his death, a Missouri police officer has helped a fellow officer in a time of need. Independence officer Blaze Madrid Evans, 22 years old, graduated from the police academy just 2 months ago and was fatally shot by a suspect on Wednesday. The suspect also died in the shootout. Madrid Evans was an organ donor, and Springfield officer Mark Preby needed a new kidney. Preby was paralyzed after being intentionally struck by a vehicle in June of 2020. His kidneys began to fail in June this year, and he began dialysis in July. Preby's family learned on Friday that they were a match, and the transplant was performed Saturday in St. Louis. Preby said he is forever grateful to Madrid Evans, though he noted that it is difficult to comprehend, quote, why I am allowed to continue to live, and this young, brand new officer had to pay the ultimate sacrifice. I hope that I can honor him and his family by the way I live my life. And I'm about to cry. So, Independence Officer Blaze Madrid Evans is our hero this week after being on our memorial wall last week. That is an unbelievable, fantastic story.
Be an organ donor. Never
That's
know
right.
who you might
Sign
save.
that card or whatever you need to do. My instructions are to give out every part of my body that isn't broken when I die, which might not be much by the time I get there, but
I was going to say, like an ear?
Maybe if it helps somebody. Maybe an ear will be left, but then I'm to be cremated and my ashes spread in every ballpark that my wife and I have visited over our 37 years together so far.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How many ballparks is that?
Oh, God. The ones we didn't get to before it closed was Yankee Stadium and Tiger Stadium. But I don't know. I think we're at like 16 or 17, somewhere around there.
Nice.
Yeah. So almost half.
It's not bad.
I wanted to go to Arlington. It was brand new.
Yeah.
20 years ago. Now they took it. They got another new park. I'm like, what's Texas doing? Now they got another new park.
I don't know how they got the money for it.
I know. And the new one, I think, because the Sox just played there, it only seats like 45,000 people.
Yeah.
And it's got a roof and all this. It's, I guess, much nicer because the ballpark at Arlington was really big and outdoors and it's really hot there. So apparently this takes care of that problem.
One of my players made his major league debut in that stadium.
In the ballpark at Arlington or the new one?
The new one.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Last year during COVID.
Really? Yeah, when no one was there to see it.
No one was there to see it. So that's why it was a huge deal when he came back up this year and started down in Anaheim.
Oh, good.
Bummed I wasn't able to get down there.
That's awesome. The White Sox crew that does the games, they were the first road team announcers to be allowed in the park this year.
That's
down
awesome.
in Texas. Yeah, so they actually got to call the games from being there because they've been, doing it.
Yeah, doing them remote.
So, on to the woodworking segment. What's going on with you, Brandon, with the shop? Shop talk. As he lifts his finger up to the camera. That's why you have to watch the show.
Yeah, you miss my mannerisms if you don't watch it. There's not much, man. I am going to try. I'm going to give this thing like a little bit of time, probably till next weekend, to really try to operate stuff. I was able to finish the last of the tumbler orders.
Yeah, that's great.
So those actually, the big 9 order, or the big 9 tumbler order just went out this morning.
Okay.
So that's all caught up. Yeah, I still have to do the bookcase for my neighbors. That's postponed indefinitely.
Yeah. Can you do like a JPP? That would be Juan Pierre Paul for people that don't know, and put the big club on your hand so you don't.
I mean, I could.
Anything?
I'm gonna figure out a way to do it. I want to give it some time to heal, just so that from a pain management.
Yeah.
Kind of way that it's going to be a little bit more okay, because there's been a couple times I've tried to move even light things, and it's just, oh man, it sucks. So I'm like, nah, well done. I'm gonna try. I think next week I'm gonna try to throw together a cutting board.
Okay.
And then a charcuterie board real quick. See if I could do that stuff. Flags are gonna be tough because it takes 2 hands to lift. So
yeah.
But I don't have any pending. I did like the day I broke it. I was talking to a guy I used to work with in the military that wanted a charging station for like 2 laptops and a couple of iPads and a Kindle, an e-reader. So I kind of sketched something out real quick, sent it off to him. He's like, "Yeah, do that." I'm like, cool. I'll go get the lumber this weekend. 2 hours later. So he's been super understanding. Most of the people that order from me will tell me like, "Hey, there's no rush," but I still try to get it done because I don't like get hanging kind of over my head. I feel like I'm bad. I feel like a bad person that way if it sits there too long. So I just saw the neighbor today. I was like, "Hey, it might take a little bit to get your bookcase done." And I sent him a message like, "Hey, it's going to take a little bit to get your charging station done because." Not real sure how much I can do. Tumblers are easy. It's computer work mainly. So
yeah, now that you have it down pat with your laser, that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah. So I'm actually thinking about running a little bit of a sale on my Etsy page, where maybe knock like 10% off the tumblers or something like that.
What was that? 10% off?
Maybe 10%. Who knows?
Awesome. Very cool.
Try to get some sales going because I've yet to make a sale on Etsy.
So when I order one, I should order it through Etsy?
Yeah.
You know they make me pay taxes. Can I just send you the money, like PayPal it right to you?
However you want. You were adamant before you wanted to go through Etsy. If I told you
I just want you to. I want to be your first Etsy sale.
You can be my first Etsy sale if you want. I have listings up there. So. Also, cool. For those of you that are listening to the show, little secret for you that the rest of the normies don't know. If you go to my shop and you favorite something, you get sent a coupon for 10% off. And when you do purchase and when you use that 10% off coupon.
Wait, you cut out. You cut out.
Oh no.
You got really quiet and I didn't hear what you said.
So
for people that are listening but not watching.
For those of you that go to the Etsy store and favorite something, you just favorite it, you're going to get an email. And that email is going to be a 10% off coupon code.
Woohoo!
And then when you use that coupon code and you buy something from my shop, you get another one.
Boom! That just happened.
For reals. So.
Nice.
Go to the Etsy store, favorite some things, get yourself the coupon, take 10% off of it, get another 10% coupon when you order it.
Very cool.
So that's pretty much all I have going on. I might fiddle around with some stuff. I kind of want to toy around with the laser and engraving on glass. So
I want to do some
cool.
Cricut stuff on glass too.
Yeah, I might play with the Cricut a little bit too, but that's my wife primarily messes with that stuff.
Right.
I've used it here and there, but I think that's going to be more her deal than mine. And then we actually, some people go antiquing or yard sailing. We go Goodwilling.
It's okay if you do. You can say that you do.
No, it's okay. I go Goodwilling. So I go to Goodwill.
Goodwilling.
So
I'm gonna start. I give all my shit to AmVets, American veterans.
Yeah,
so, I'm gonna start looking at Goodwill.
Yeah, we do AmVets too.
Okay.
Or
Good.
Disabled American Veterans. Those are two of our favorite places to donate. But we have a Goodwill store in our town, so we're just kind of poking through there. Especially when we first got the laser, to try to find like really cheap tumblers to screw up, basically.
Yeah.
So we were going through there and found these two. I don't know if they're end tables or if they're nightstands, but they're really old and they're in decent shape. So we recently found was the Furniture Flipping Teacher on YouTube and on Instagram.
Furniture Flipping Teacher.
Yeah, so apparently she's a kindergarten teacher that does furniture flipping too. I don't know if she still teaches because apparently she paid off her student loan debt furniture flipping.
Hell
So,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my wife's got student loan debt. Let's do that.
If you have a truck or an SUV in your case,
Yeah.
you could pick up a bunch of furniture.
Yeah, so we saw these two end tables and we're like, well, this would be pretty simple to do. So we brought them back to the house and she started
Cool.
Andy started sanding, and then she's got one coat of paint on one of the tables. So
Is she brushing it on
Yes.
or spraying?
I still
Okay,
think
brushing.
she should have sprayed it because we have the sprayer, but she wanted to hand brush it, so
Yeah,
I
that's
went.
cool.
So I went out and got the paint for her. And
What kind of paint?
It's Rust-Oleum chalked.
Okay.
It's in charcoal. It's kind of a cool look. Kind of a modern looking paint, if that makes sense. Like it's super matted. And then we're gonna get some hairpin legs to throw on there, and they're gonna look
Cool.
I think they're gonna look pretty cool. So
That's neat. You should be able to turn a little profit on that.
yeah, I think so. I mean, each one was like $10. Like they were in great shape. So
Cool.
I also saw like a 46-inch TV that was like $60.
You bought one?
No, I saw it. I don't need another TV. I got like a 50-something inch in here, but I saw that. I was like, man, that's a really good deal because it was like a Vizio. I did,
Okay.
however, get a 10-foot by 10-foot canopy for $50.
Like the one I destroyed?
Yeah, like the one you broke. So if you need one, I now have two.
You have two?
Yeah, so we had one before,
All right.
but we always seem like we need another one.
I'll send you one.
It's broken, Mike.
You
when
can
you
fix
when
it.
you get the new one from Amazon, just send it to me.
All right. Hopefully I don't have to ship this SOB back.
So Amazon does say I actually had to send like a textbook that for our homeschooling thing that our curriculum was sold out because I guess a lot of people are doing homeschooling now because they don't trust the schools are going to stay open.
Nice.
So we had to order it off of Amazon just to get it here. So we returned it because our actual order finally came in. And Amazon was just like, yeah, just take it to the UPS store. Don't package it up. Just show them this little QR code. They'll scan it, and then they throw it in like a bin, and the whole bin goes back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe it'll be something like that. You don't got to worry about shipping.
Maybe.
And they pay for it. All you got to do is just like slap the label on there.
Maybe. We'll see.
So
I got
a
some
question. I have a question for you, real quick, because you do some shipping stuff, right?
I do a lot of shipping stuff.
So where do you get your boxes? Like, where do you get all the shipping boxes, your shipping supplies?
Yeah, so my wife, who's in a freight forwarding business for 33 years, she found Uline because I was trying to make boxes out of Amazon boxes.
Yeah, that's what I did like all last year with flags.
Yeah, right, for all my flags. So she found a small set of boxes that has numerous perforations in it, so you can do different sizes.
Okay.
And I used that size for my small flags. And then she actually bought just large cardboard that isn't perforated from Uline. And then it's not very thick, so I can draw where I want to bend it, and then I have a 4-foot level like everybody else, and I'll put a level across there, and I'll just bend it up on the level, and I'll wrap it that way. The big flags, and it's turned out pretty well actually. So
Yeah,
I can get that information for you.
Okay. Yeah. Usually for my full size flags, like I'll grab a large or extra large box from Home Depot, and then I cut one of the corners, fold it all up in there, trim off some of the excess, and that's worked out fine. I'm just trying to find a more economic way, because that's usually what I do is I'll recycle Amazon boxes.
Right. I do that as much as possible.
But with these tumblers, like they're kind of small.
Yeah, you have to. Well, my bottle openers, I have to make a box for it. So I take scrap wood, because mind you, my bottle opener has an opener on it, right?
Yeah.
So if you go to make a box, it's like on an angle.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll put a 3/4 inch piece of hardwood at one end, so it levels off the top, and then I take the thin boxes that she bought, the large ones, and I just make a box out of that, and then I stand it up and I trace the bottom because it's a different shape. It's kind of like a hexagon once it's all wrapped up.
Yeah.
And then I stand it up on the cardboard, pencil it, I cut it out, and I tape it on, and I have a nice box. Yes, I've got a nice box.
Yeah, so I've been trying to figure out an economic way to get boxes and stuff, because I just don't.
Yeah, try Uline.
Okay, I'll have to look into
I got
that.
a bunch of their tape too, and a tape gun from them.
Nice.
So I have some interesting news.
All right, what do you got going on?
I'm not in the shop. Well, I'm in the shop now, but I'm not working in the shop. But I had someone reach out to me yesterday on Instagram, and it is Josh from 22 Steps, and his shop is currently closed because he's moved and he had to close the shop. So he built a table for a client that lives in Louisville, and it's a farmhouse table, and it cracked big time. So he sent me the pictures of it. The top is 36 inches wide by 60 inches long.
Wow, it's a big table.
It's big. It cracked. So he asked if I was the first person he asked before he started giving them the customer names. He asked if I was interested before. And I felt honored that he would ask me first.
Yeah.
So I wanted to thank him for sending this client my way. So she reached out to me. She asked if I was interested, and I told her it won't be till mid or late November, because once I'm back working in the shop, I got to do all these flags.
Yeah.
So, and she's like, all right, that's, no worries. She's going to take more pictures of it for me so I can see how he attached it. I don't know if he used Z-clips or whatever. So that's one thing. That came today. Since I'm not able to work in the shop, I was sitting down here yesterday and today, and I ordered a new computer for our podcast and to do the video editing and all that kind of stuff. And I have a couple hard drives, and one of them's corrupted, so I'm trying to move stuff off that hard drive so then I can reformat it. I'm hoping that if after I reformat it, then I have a 3 terabyte hard drive, that's okay.
Yeah.
But every time I go to move something, I move 2 files and it freezes, and then I got to unplug it, force eject it, and then so I've been doing that in the shop. And then I had a company called Deco, Deko. I think it's Deco, not Deco. And they asked if I would be interested in trying out a number of different tools. They liked my profile on Instagram or whatever. And they sent me a list of stuff that I could pick. Welder, like an arc welder, brushless drill, 18-volt brushless drill. It's compact, so it's a little bit shorter than the Ryobi drill I have. Tool set, something else I can't use. So I said, why, yes, I would. And what we're going to do is I'll have an affiliate program. And as soon as I get the drill, I'm going to test it. I got a bunch of stuff going on that I'll be able to use it on. I just have to post, on my page. Anything I want, they said. And just talk about their DIY market and intro to people that are starting out DIYing and what their core values are. And then we started an affiliate program. So anybody that orders something from my page, I have a 10% off coupon that I'll be offering with, I think the coupon's my name actually. And then I'll have an affiliate program where I'll get 5% of anything I sell through my Instagram page. So that's my first affiliate program I'm kind of excited about.
Well, congratulations, buddy. Good for you.
Thanks, buddy. Maybe you want to buy a drill?
I don't know whose dick I gotta suck to get a fucking affiliate partnership.
I'm going to use the drill.
Damn it.
Wearing my Rock Rooster boots and my base camp mask all at the same time. And
Seriously,
we're listening to my
any
ISO
of you
tunes.
people listening out there that sell shit, hey, I'll hawk you shit.
Yeah.
I'll tell people it's great. Unless it sucks. Then I'll tell people it's maybe not great, but I won't say it sucks.
So check them out. Deco. DEKO tools.com.
Deco Tools.
And they also are on Instagram, of course.
Excellent. We do it right now. See what happens. I'm really pissed if I already follow.
You know what's funny is I'd seen a bunch of my buddies with these drills and these tool sets from Deco, and I'm like, oh, that looks pretty good. And then I got an email from them. So
that's awesome.
I'm like, all right, cool. So I think that's probably it for shop stuff because, you know what?
We're broken.
Did you say it looks broken?
I said because we're broken. That tool set looks nice, though.
Yeah, you know what? The guy who ran... So I'm getting the shop all hardwired for this with Ethernet cable.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine came over today.
Yeah.
And he could have used a compact drill because when he was trying to get the drill up under the floor, he couldn't use a Forstner bit or a spade bit to drill a hole because the drill was too big. He could have used this Deco one.
Is it 18 volt or 20 volt?
Oh, let me see.
What I'm seeing is 20 volt max.
It might be the 28 volt.
No, 20 volt.
20.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brushless.
Ooh.
And it's lightweight, too.
How do you know? You don't even have it yet.
Because I did some, investigating.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's 2-speed, 20-volt brushless drill. And it's got 2 speeds and 18 plus 1 torque settings. So it's a 3/8 inch keyless chuck. So looking forward to getting that. And I'll let you know exactly how it works because I got a whole bunch of stuff I'll be using it for.
If anybody would like to send me free tools.
Full House Woodworking.
I would gladly
What's your email,
accept.
Brandon? Put it out there.
I'm going to put out my personal email. You get spam from these degenerates that listen to us.
Your Full House Woodworking email, don't you have one?
No.
That would be your first mistake.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do that.
Because you put make on Gmail, fullhousewoodworking at gmail.com, and put it in the link in your bio, and you'll start getting these emails.
All right. I guess I'm going to do... Well, I already have the... Do
you have a link tree?
No.
Do that, too.
Okay.
Look up Linktree, hook up your Etsy shop.
So I got to do a Linktree with my email.
And do email, yeah.
And the Etsy. So I can't just list the email in my bio as well as my Etsy link.
Yeah. No, you can. I'm going to my bio now. So
I'm going to play with that tonight.
Yeah.
I'm going to... I got time on my hands.
You're not working.
Yeah.
So in my link tree, I've got my Facebook, my Etsy, and my YouTube. And then somewhere I had my email on there somewhere. Oh, under your profile, It says edit profile, add tools, insights, add shop, email. And I'm going to add a shop on my Instagram. Have you added a shop yet?
I haven't yet. I'm gonna kind of toy with that because
Does that just go?
Well. Does that just link to like Etsy, or is it its own separate thing?
It's your own Instagram shop
where
you can put your products and stuff on it. Yeah. So, anyways.
Well, hell.
Exciting stuff happening in the Midnight Maker shop, which should be rebranded probably by the time I go back to work. My daughter has finished all the high-resolution images stuff for me, and I was hoping to get the website up before I do the rebranding, but I spoke to someone who does websites, and it's an additional like $350 to have her build the website for me.
Es mucho dinero.
Yeah, so I'm just going to do it myself. We'll see what happens.
Good decision.
But, yeah. So that's all I got, man.
Mike, do we have a question this week?
We do have a question this week. Guess who it's from?
Dave Franklin.
Oh, man. How'd you know?
I'm just psychic.
It is from not only David Franklin, it's from our super fan.
Super fan. Friend of the show.
Super fan, David Franklin of 516 Woodworks.
What's David want to know this week?
I'm going to let you know right now. Hopefully you can hear it.
I'm not hopeful.
What's up, guys? Especially for things that large. 35 inches in length and I want to say 22 inches in height. So definitely got a lot of material that gets cut and put together with dados and screws and stuff. So what is your best tips and techniques for batching out things like that, with especially with repeat cuts and making sure things that are made for one rack, it stayed with that, so I'm not swapping pieces of wood over and they're being mixed and matched with two different racks. Look forward to hear your answer for this question. Stay safe out there this week.
So you heard it, and then it went away, and then you heard it.
Yeah, I don't know what you were doing, but
I
like you reached over and did something, and I could hear it.
I shut my mic off when there's a question going on, so I don't make noise in the shop.
I bet you it's tied to your mic.
And apparently, it's on the other side of the board.
I don't care. It's tied to your mic.
But apparently, if I mute my mic, you can't hear it.
We have solved the mystery.
We solved
So it wasn't the equipment; it was Mike.
It's user error once again.
In today's episode of Mike and Technology.
I swear to God, man, I'm not that bad with technology unless you're around.
I was going to say, your actions prove otherwise, my man. So batching stuff out.
Batching stuff out. How do you batch stuff out?
So
different size stuff, not just one.
Yeah.
thing.
So when I make flags, and that's the main thing that I've had to batch out. So I do my flags in 3 different pieces. I have my union, I have my short stripes, and my long stripes. They're all 3 are different dimensions. So what I'll do is I'll go through, and the way my miter, I have a portable miter saw stand that has 2 supports on it. It's the wind tools one, and I will essentially use those kind of supports as stop locks. So sliding it one way stops it at the short stripe length. Sliding it the other way stops it at the long stripe one. But I'll just go through and cut all the short ones I need. I can usually get, the way I do it, I can either get like 4 short stripes out of one, I think it's like an 8-foot long, 1x2, or I can get like 2 long stripes out of the same piece, and then like I have a scrap piece left over that I can use as like a backer. And that's usually what I'll do. I'll cut one size. Once I get all those done for however many flags I'm doing, I set those off to the side. all in one pile. I'll cut out all my long stripes, put those in one pile, and then I'll cut out my unions from the 1x12s, and then set those all in a pile. Then I'll go to each pile, take a union, my short stripes, my long stripes, then stack all those together and painter's tape. I'll painter's tape those together. I know that's one flag. And I just do that until I have all the batches put out, and then I kind of, I assemble as, or put together as needed. I try to do kind of everything all at once. If I got to do, if I'm doing torched ones, torch them all at the same time, just for efficiency's sake, stain them all at the same time. Sometimes I'll even add like a post-it note to the painter's tape of like, hey, this one's red, white, blue, this one's a blue line, this one is, half blue, half red, or, whatever, or just subdued. This one's got a, Betsy Ross union with the 1776 in there. So painter's tape and post-it notes can be your friend as far as like kind of keeping track of stuff, but I try to, when I batch stuff out, keep it all together. So I have all the pieces for one flag together, or one, hexagon shelf, or one cutting board. I have all that stuff together. And that is kind of what helps keep me organized in it. Mike, how do you batch stuff out?
Well, I have a miter station. I used to make my unions separate, like you do. It's harder to engrave them that way for me on the CNC, because I'd have to put a bigger piece of wood in there, and then so I have something to clamp on. Right now I don't have the side clamps, which really hurt me, so I should just spend some time setting the CNC up for that. But so I do the 13 stripes, not the different. I don't have two different sizes of stripes, and then a union, except I will for this 5-foot flag, because the union itself is 2 feet long.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's going to be a big one. So similar as you, or same as you, I take my big 1x12s to the miter station first and cut them to length, the 37 inches each one. Then to this table saw and rip out, all the 1.5 inch stripes. And if I have smaller flags that have to come at the same time, I don't change my tools until all the big stuff is done. So it's just one setup, cut all the lengths, then cut all the stripes. And I don't use tape like you do, which is a good idea. I stack them into the 13 stripes and then make them in piles on my workbench or my assembly table, so I know. And then I'll take them out to the garage and burn them, then bring them back in, and I turn each stripe up and label the number on it, what color it is, and what flag it's for, and then put it back down. So I know that Brandon gets a blue line flag. This is white, black, blue, black,
Yeah.
But same thing as you. Set up the machines once, do all the cutting. Next machine, set it up once, do all the cutting. And it's actually saved me. Now I'm actually not doing like one flag at a time. I'll wait till I have 5 or 6 flags on order. And then
and it makes you more consistent too. Because even if it's not exactly, like 37 inches long, if it's like, say, 36 and 7/8, everything is 36 and 7/8.
Right.
Before I had this miter saw stand, I basically set my miter saw on top of a little teeny tiny table, measured out, 36 inches.
Right.
And then 36 inches. And then I put the thing together, and it'd be like,
right.
Everything would be just
16th or 32nd of an inch off. Yeah.
And I had like a little job site table saw, like standalone. I didn't have any support on there. So I'm like, I'm not going to run this, through that to try to square it up. I'm going to screw it up. It's rustic.
Yeah.
So I've noticed since I got the stand and everything is a lot more crisp, clear, and just consistent all the way around. One thing that I'm going to try to do now that I have the laser is I'm going to try laser engraving off some of the stain to do my unions, so that maybe I can have a more customizable union.
That would be pretty cool.
So I've seen some people do it, especially with CO2 lasers.
Okay.
And then I reached out to one of the guys out here, Half Mast Flag Company, Andre. He does a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
he's
awesome.
actually the one that did my my banner.
Yeah,
I forgot to put up again.
Yeah, I want him to do my banner.
Yeah. So I reached out to him, and he does it with an Ortor that he can actually engrave through either paint or stain. So I mean, and that's essentially what I'm doing with the tumblers is I'm just engraving. Right. I'm just removing the powder coating on there, so it should be. Yeah. Even if I don't do stain, if I just paint it, then it might come out a little bit clearer, crisper, and stuff. So I'm gonna do some. I might actually experiment with that while I'm recovering. This is such a wimpy injury, by the way. Like,
want to know what a bad injury is? At least you. I wouldn't say that's a wimpy injury, but
well, no, just the fact that it's a pinky finger, dude. It's a pinky. There's nothing macho about. I busted my pinky.
No, but you did it at work, at least fighting with somebody.
Yeah, and I mean the story. Like once you hear the story, you're like, dude, that's pretty awesome. Where you're like, yeah, I broke my finger.
I was bowling once, and I got a bone bruise on my left leg, my plant leg. The tibia slammed into the fibia, right?
So the individual bones slammed into each other?
Yeah, like your
holy shit!
thigh
How
bone
did you not
your,
break your leg?
It tore the meniscus, and as soon as it happened, I thought, "Oh, that hurt."
Oh shit!
And then I went back to throw my second ball, and I could barely slide on my leg, And I said to my buddy, "I don't know what I just did, but something hurts in my knee."
That sucks.
So then I played baseball and softball on it for, 2 months, sprinting and pounding, and I was in so much pain. So finally, when I went to go to the doctor, the orthopedic, they did x-rays and an MRI, and I had a bone bruise. And what happens, like someone just on the Bears just got a bone bruise, and I'm like, oh, that ain't good. Oh, the quarterback, what's his name? Redhead.
Oh, yeah.
Red rifle.
Dalton.
He's a bone bruise. And when I saw the injury, I thought, oh, that looks familiar.
That's what I did.
And what happens is when those two bones I'm showing on YouTube slam together, there's a meniscus in there. Well, mine, it tore the meniscus. So the bone slammed down on the bottom bone. And then what happens is this bruise in the bone, when you walk, right, you're stepping on it. But what will happen is that bruise will die and break off in your leg. So they had to drill holes in said bone through surgery to promote blood flow to the bruise, and then the blood would come up in between the joints and serve as kind of like a cushion.
Oh, it's like a lubricant.
My left knee's fucked.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
The story was I was off work for like 8 months.
Sheesh.
And it was not a work-related injury, so I wasn't getting paid after a while because you use your sick time, then your emergency sick time. And you use your vacation and your personal days and your time due. Next thing you know, you're not getting paid for a few months. And people are like, why aren't you working? I'm like, I
can't stand up.
And what? How'd you do it? You fighting somebody?
No.
Bowling. So my wife's like, you need to tell people you're chasing somebody or something.
Yeah, just make
not
something
that you're
up. They don't know.
Yeah, so but I'm a nice guy.
That's interesting.
I hate sunflowers. I'm afraid of sunflowers, and I got hurt bowling.
That's interesting because I went out on modified duty or light duty after I had my vasectomy. Obviously not work related. I still got paid. I showed up to work. I was just stuck in our officer of the day office.
Oh, we can't.
Same
do that.
As really.
Yeah, if you're injured off work, there's no light duty.
Really?
You have to use your sick time, and then when you run out, you run out.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's not good. So you need AFLAC. Or a supplemental insurance like that.
Yeah. I still have the supplemental insurance in case like I go on full disability or something like that and it lasts forever or it outlasts what I already have. Just because that scares the shit out of me, man.
I've been meaning to write myself a policy because I am a licensed insurance producer in Illinois since 2008.
And you keep up with all that certification?
I do.
Good for you, man.
Yeah. I have many irons in the fire.
You should just retire. Like, if you're done, just retire now. Medical out.
No, I got to
You'll be
wait
fine.
till May. I would get the 65% now, yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm going to be walking again soon, I hope. So I'm not going to jinx myself.
Yeah.
All right,
All
let's
of a
wrap
sudden-
this puppy up.
All of a
it's been
sudden, you're
long
going to
one.
start walking. And you're like, man, I really want to go bowling.
No, I bowled with my son a couple years ago because I was in the league for like 15 years. And all coppers is a Pleats league, which is a lot of fun. And then my son is a really good bowler. He hates sports, but he can bowl because it's not a sport. That's in his mind.
I don't know, man. It's on ESPN.
I know.
If
So
it's
we
on
went
ESPN,
bowling,
it's a sport.
I think 2 years ago, and I was actually afraid to bowl, because that's my slide leg. And I still, like today, we have a weather front that came
slide tells me you take bowling way too seriously.
through. We have a weather front coming through, and then my knee, I have arthritis in my knee now. So whenever a weather front comes through, my knee really hurts. So we
I
went
had the
bowling.
same thing in my wrist.
My knee was fine, except, boy, did my shoulder hurt after throwing a 16-pound ball. And I hadn't thrown a bowling ball in years. I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah, so I broke my left wrist, and it was like 7th grade playing baseball. I slid late, completely snapped one of the bones in my wrist. The doctor who set the bones for me was actually on his way out of town to go to the U.S. Open at Pebble Beach. Tiger in his prime years.
Nice.
So he half-assed it. So at some point, the bone slipped, and it went from being straight on to now there's like a little bit of a slope there. So one, I don't have a ton of strength in my left wrist, and two, when like a weather front moves in, it was really bad in North Dakota when there's drastic changes. But I get a lot of wrist pain anytime.
Yeah, when the barometric pressure changes.
Yeah, there's going to be a pressure change. So like there were times in North Dakota, like I was having to pop like 800 milligram ibuprofen. Like I'm dying.
I always take 200 milligram ibuprofens, but so we are like broken arm brothers. So this arm, I don't know if you can see this bend here. See that?
Yeah.
It's not straight. I was skateboarding, and we were having a contest. I was 12, and who can turn the corner on the sidewalk the fastest?
Yeah.
I won until my skateboard hit a raised piece of concrete.
Oh.
When the sidewalks aren't level?
Yep.
So I flew, the skateboard went that way. I flew backwards this way. I landed with my arm right next to my head upside down. And the arm went boom, boom. And a compound fracture, the bone went like this and sat like this.
Yep.
Both of them.
I only did one.
My wrist was like a Z, right? Like that. And I'm holding my arm, and I go, I broke my arm. And my buddy goes, hey, you just sprained it. I go, look at it. It was literally hanging. Like Robin Ventura's ankle or Joe Theismann's foot, one of these things. And the ride to the hospital in a car that hit every fucking bump on the road. And I'm holding it. And when they said it, they rushed me to the emergency room. They put me on a gurney, and they hung, I don't know how they did yours, but I'm in the emergency room. They hung my left arm off the gurney, right? They put a spring-loaded machine on my fingers, one spring per finger.
Like Chinese finger traps.
Yes, and then they put a weight on my bicep. So the weight pulled my arm down, and the machine pulled the springs up, and it's supposed to snap the bones back together.
Yep.
But as you can see, it didn't.
That's exactly what they did to me. They gave me the shot into the bone to numb it.
Okay. I didn't have that.
No, so they gave me the numbing stuff, and then the doctor comes up and goes, hey, you want to see something cool? I'm like, sure. He goes, move your wrist. So I moved my right wrist. He goes, no, the other one, dummy. I'm like, I'm not doing that. He goes, trust me. So I move it, and I didn't feel anything. I was like, whoa. Because I'm like 11, 12. Or I think it was
I was
13.
12.
So I broke this one during my 11th birthday party.
We're like the guys in Jaws.
Rollerblading.
Showing each other scars.
And then I broke it again.
Oh, my God.
Playing football in the street. Caught the pass, scored the touchdown, won the game.
Okay.
Broke the arm.
The only injuries I got in football were numerous sprained ankles. Came out of the backfield for a pass in the flat and got hit by the linebacker as the pass was high. as I caught it, I came down, my foot planted, and he hit me, and then it snapped my ankle,
Yeah.
And then went out for a bomb, and it was underthrown. And the kid...
Obviously, the quarterback's fault, not mine.
The kid that was right behind me, he couldn't throw to my speed, apparently. The kid that was behind me, behind me, went up to intercept it. So I came back to hit him. And when he came down, his spike went through my leg. It hit the shin bone and punctured through and put a hole in my leg.
That's gross.
Went to the emergency room. I was like, there's a hole in my leg. It's like bubbling. I can see the bone. Like, what the fuck? All right. Sports injuries. That's what we're here for. Let's wrap this puppy up, shall we?
Why not?
All right. So, Brandon,
What?
if someone wants to send a question in like David Franklin from 516 Woodworks, what can they do?
So David does it. I mean, he's able to follow instructions apparently way better than the other 4 listeners we have.
Yeah.
So you can send a voice memo. You just record it on your phone and then send
As he
that.
was doing while he was driving, because I heard his turn signals.
and then you just email that little file. You attach it to an email and you send that to handcuffs&sawdustpodcast@gmail.com. Now, if you just want to type it out, you can send it to the email address, or you can type it up and you can send it to Mike over at Midnight Maker on Instagram. You can send it to the podcast page at Handcuffs&sawdustpodcast. Or you send it to me over at Full House Woodworking. Mike and I are going to have time. We not really got a lot going on right now. Mike for another 2 weeks, and then me for mid-November. Okay.
Oh boy.
Send questions, please. Otherwise, this show's
Send
going to get real boring real quick.
Yeah. And remember, new episodes of the Handcuffs and Sawdust podcast are released every Wednesday. Please subscribe. Leave a review if you're on Apple. Please follow us wherever you get your podcasts. We're available on like 19 podcast platforms. And please follow our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I'm going to say this, that we're at, 12?
What?
We're at 15.
What?
I
Big
think
time.
15
We big time
15
now.
subscribers on YouTube.
Shit.
I'm going to say whoever the 20th subscriber is going to get a small flag from me. So I will put that out there. Small flag from
Get
me.
subscribed.
Your design, anything you want, I'll flag it. It will be a flag. So that's coming up to number 20 of our subscribers for YouTube.
And if you want to be notified when we put the videos out on YouTube, because I know we put out our little pre-show discussions where we just talk shit nonstop, there's a little bell right next to the subscribe button. If you click that and enable all notifications, you're going to get a little push notification every time we put something out. So it's going to be like twice a week. It's going to be 2 notifications a week. Okay?
Right. And you're missing out if you're not watching as well, because we're
I get
putting
distracted
videos
a
up
lot.
and pictures up, and
You get me looking
I
off to
love
the side like, what the
Brandon's face when I told him my daughter hadn't seen Goodfellas. So
I still. Like, are you guys going to watch that? Like, you need to watch it. Like,
I'm going to make her watch it.
you need to watch it with her. That needs to be a father-daughter moment.
She texted me back and said she's seen Lethal Weapon 2 just today. So she's starting.
It's just
All right.
been revoked.
Have a safe week in the shop and on the streets. Peace.
Deuces. I can't do it like this. Oh.